Three's a charm. Hey, it's Derek Jones. I don't know why I wanna say it's your boy Derek Jones, but that seems really strange. We're out here in Portland, Oregon for a little mini vacation. Jeez, that sounded crazy. A little mini vacation. Um, yeah, this is Nosebleed weekly report number 4. Got 4 in the books. This week I was able to finish pages 9 and 10. Feel pretty good about that. That closes up chapter 2. So yeah, let's roll some footage from me penciling and inking those. Oh, I think I got both panels. All right, go ahead and roll it. All right, so this is a 3-point perspective grid I made real quick using my 10-point divider. Skip ahead a little bit. There we go. So we established that. I got I'm drawing in a hospital bed right here. Yeah, this was a good week. I was able to just kind of bang out page 10 pretty quickly. I guess I finished page 9 like last week, I guess, because that was on last week's show. So yeah, just had to bang this one out before I left for Portland. And it felt good. It took me just one day. I didn't record any more footage after these first 2 panels because I just kind of wanted to get it done. But yeah, I banged it out fairly quickly. I was like, wow, I got that whole page done in a day. I was expecting to work on it pretty much Monday and Tuesday, but it really wasn't that complicated of a page. It's just Reggie waking up back in the real world. I think this is probably the most complicated panel. It's just drawing this kind of isometric view of a PIC unit, right? Is it called PICU? PIC unit? Recovery unit. Here you go. We're drawing through, making some shapes. See how we're starting off with just like the basic shapes of this bed before we jump into all the detail and stuff. Yep. So this little part right here is so hard to draw. I could have honestly, I should have probably made this whole bed like way more wider, but this isn't like the critique show. You know what I mean? I'm not about to sit up here and be like, well, if I had just taken a little bit more time and, didn't drop the ball, didn't go in the end zone, it's like, nah, dude, whatever. Like, it reads as a hospital bed. It's done, man. I gotta move on. I'm taking a laissez-faire approach to this comic making stuff. Because, like, at this point, man, I just really got to just catch up. This book's supposed to come out fairly soon. I kind of want to just bang it out. Sometimes weird stuff happens, too, where it's like... Let me skip a little bit. Yeah. Where, like, the quicker you work sometimes, or the quicker I work sometimes, like, I'll kind of be taken aback by, like, the results. I'm like, oh, yeah, that took me a day to do, and it looks great, It's just like, yeah, cool, huh, done, sick, it's done. Alright, so we're getting out the ruler. I try not to really use the ruler until, like, I have to either, like, start to kind of, like, lock in the shapes like I'm doing here. Because as you can see, it's just pencil scribbles, man. It's hard to kind of read that shit, so you got to kind of clean it up a little bit. Also, I'm using, oh my god, the lead. The lead would be really nice to know what kind of lead I'm using. But I think it's B4. Yeah, it's like a B4 lead and a thick Bic mechanical pencil. And this thing is great because the lead is so light that when you're doing perspective stuff like this, you can really erase and it doesn't like stay on the page. You know what I mean? Or like you're not really doing too much damage to the actual paper with this 4B lead. But the only thing that does suck is the grid that you do. I'm also doing the grid in the same lead, so when I have to erase, I have to kind of be a little bit careful. That's why I kind of really try not to erase that much. But what you could do, which I think a lot of people might do, is they either do their perspective grids like in blue and red, so you can just kind of buff those out when you scan them in. And so they'll do one set of grid lines is red, the other set is blue, and if there's a third, like kind of like we have here. Now I'm drawing a Reggie. If there's a third, they'll do that in another color that you can easily boost out of Photoshop. So now I'm just busting in Reggie right here. And now this is like the crazy part. Like, I didn't look up a reference for this, like, or I didn't even like take one. Usually I try not to really like look up references of. I'm at the point now with like construction, and I'm not. This is gonna maybe sound like I'm bragging, but I worked really hard for like 3 years to just get gesture and to work on my gesture drawings and my construction. So now I can pretty much bust out a pose fairly easy-ish. You know, like I'm pretty confident. This pose I'm actually happy with. I just got, you know, it's just him getting out of, like, you know, he just woke up, you know. So, but yeah, I'm at the point where I really try not to look up, you know, poses and stuff until after the fact, where I'm like, okay, this is what I want. Now let me see if I can find something that I know there might be a couple little mistakes in there. Let me see if a reference can kind of help you clean up the mistakes. Yeah, just laying that in. I'm skipping around a little bit just because. But yeah, just really trying to focus on that gesture. Yeah, I was fairly happy. I was like, I just woke up. I had green tea this day. I had green tea instead of like coffee. And so I think I'm going to switch to green tea for a little bit, because I've heard, it's just really good for you. Like the antioxidants and all that. It's really good for inflammation, which I'm, you know, battling. Oof, my back's killing me. This chair sucks. So, and this was just like a really good drawing day when I had green tea for some odd reason. I also didn't eat any meat this day. Like, first thing when I woke up, I think I just had an egg. Like no sausage or anything. So maybe that was up, but also maybe just, I don't know. Maybe I just kind of knew ahead of time it wasn't going to be like that difficult of a page. So I think I just had like, oh, okay, I just have to draw, you know, normal stuff. I don't have to draw anything like esoteric or anything. So, I don't know. All those things combined made for a very successful page day. But yeah, it's very nice here in Portland. I don't know if I'd move here, but it's very cool. Here we go again, some more drawing through. Drawing that pillow. Getting that pillow in. Checking my phone for some odd reason. Come on. There we go. So now what I'm doing here is just trying to block in all that white space over there. Just kind of fill it with stuff. Just to kind of give the scene a little bit more depth. You know. You don't want it to just, you don't want people to be like, oh, is this a hospital room? It's like you kind of got to sell it. And so I'm trying my best here to add some other stuff in there to kind of sell it. Sell it like Tom Selleck. No, wait, you fell off like Tom Selleck and a Celica. That's the greatest, it's one of the greatest Danny Brown lines of all time. Also here, if you look over here to the left side, maybe you can see it a little bit, but I do try to put all of my references that I'm going to be using for the page. I try to put those all in one Photoshop kind of JPEG document style thing, and then I'm just referencing from that. I'm just looking at that. Like, I try to get anything that I'm gonna need to have to draw like a lot of. I try to get it on that. That way, I don't have to stop and like Google. You know, I don't need to stop and then Google like machinery or something. Like, I try to just be like, okay, this is all the machinery that I probably would draw on this page. I put it on this little document here. But it's just nice to have, you know what I mean? It's just so like you don't start and stop when you're drawing. Get all that stuff in one place. So you don't have to jump onto Pinterest and then you get distracted for like an hour on Pinterest, or you're Googling and then you're Googling trying to find like the perfect reference, and then you like realize after 30 minutes you're like, wait, I have a camera, I could just take this reference, and then you try to go take a picture that's perfect for like another 30 minutes. It's just time wasting. Just grab the gist of that stuff, put it in a document, and just only look at that document. It took a little bit to get used to that, but the more and more I do it now, I'm at the point where like I can trust my reference sheet. That's like, okay, I got everything that I need. Everything on this reference sheet is gonna have what I need. Every now and then I will keep up like a sketch fab. Like, I think I had a sketch fab up for this hospital bed just to kind of, because you can move the object around. So I think I might have had that in there. But I was also really happy with how this face shape that I'm drawing now on Reggie came out. I kind of fucked up his hair. His hair is a little bit more choppy dreads. Like, he has like kind of like layered dreads. But I really just wanted everything to kind of be like having this sinking feeling. Like, you know, he's woken up and he's just like maybe drenched in sweat. Or you can just feel the weight of waking up. Yeah, this was tough. I'm trying to figure out this window angle. Drawing in some pants over here. Let's skip around. Okay. Just trying to get the shading in. Spotting my blacks, as they say. Such a weird terminology. Spot your blacks. So now I think do I start? No, I don't start inking this one. I bust out this other panel. So now this one took a little bit to kind of bang out. There's a lot of back and forth with this shot. Part of it, like, I took a picture of myself, like, kind of screaming, like how Reggie's screaming. But then after kind of like looking at the photo a little bit, I just kind of dropped it and just started doing it, just trying to imagine more so what like that screaming pose looks like, because it is a muscle, you know what I mean? Like you do gotta kind of stretch that muscle of just like, okay, trust your eyes, right? Like, what does someone look like when they scream? Like, you kind of mouth the scream, and then you kind of draw more so what you're feeling. So I kind of tried to take that approach, because I kept kind of looking at the picture and then erasing and then looking at the picture, and it's not good to do that. Just because then your focus turns on to like, I got to make the drawing look like the picture, you know? And you're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be drawing, you know? I'm drinking some water. It's fucking hot out here. I don't know why I just said that. But yeah, here we go. So this is like the first iteration. You see how I'm really trying to just kind of like nail every little intricate part of the face, right? And then I got that reference of I don't know what the breathing tubes are called, but I'm just gonna call them breathing tubes. Got that going on. Not the nurse. We're not using the nurse at all. We're just, yeah, I hated those eyes. had to get rid of those eyes. See, even like that, without the eyes, it kind of looks cool. I should have maybe left it like that, but the thing that I'm figuring out with like my style is damn dude, there's nothing better than scratching your ear. That felt so good. Like with these like kind of teddy bear eyes, I think that's what they call them. You can still get a lot of range of emotion with them, and I'm still kind of like, I don't think I'll never not do this with my characters, especially like the better at anatomy I get. I feel like it's just gonna look even cooler. But you can still get really expressive. You just have to keep in mind that the teddy bear dot is doing all of the work of the eye. So if the eye is really wide and someone's surprised, it's like, okay, make that dot really, you know, elongated. Don't fill it in. Filling it in, like leaving it like kind of open like that, kind of gives the suggestion like the person's so surprised that they're like blind, especially, and then it's like making the pupils a little bit smaller, things like that. It's kind of cool. I like that. I like looking at that more than I like looking at like when I would try to draw eyes back in the day with like a lid and everything on them. I always hated how they looked. And then one day I did this, just like this like page just for like myself, and I did all the characters with dot eyes in it. And I was like, dude, I am doing this like for everything now, and I haven't looked back. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. I don't want to draw for it. I know like my biggest fear with that, I always wanted to do it for like the longest, but my fear at the time was like, well, I still want to be hireable. So why am I doing this thing that is going to definitely make sure I'm not hireable as a cartoonist? But I would do it in any illustration job I got. All my characters would have dot eyes, and nobody ever batted an eye then. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm going to do it for my comic stuff. And also I'm like, at that time when I kind of was like, I'm going to do it, I was like, I'm going to be drawing my own stuff anyway from now on. So I don't need to worry about being hired. All right, this is coming together though. It's a good looking face. It's definitely like he's screaming kind of face. I would have liked to exaggerate it a little bit more. This is always the hard part, is drawing that back, the top part of the head, right? Like figuring how much head you have up here when, you know, oh, it's such a hard thing to draw in. Because then you'll make a character that has like a 6 head, you know what I mean? Like a gigantic forehead if you don't get that like head circle right. But luckily we ended up doing okay here. Yeah, we got that. Working on these dreads. I'll never draw a character with dreadlocks again. It's every time I draw them differently. They're so hard to figure out. And there's some people that know how to do them really well, like Eduardo Rizzo draws characters with dreads really well. Jonathan Gent, I think is his name. Jean Jin, something like that. He's like an animator. He does it really cool. I don't know, man. I can't figure it out. I want it to have texture, so I'm always trying to make sure the dreads have texture to them, but it keeps fucking me up. So I think I'm just gonna keep them as cylinders after this page. They're just cylinders with one side is black, one side is white. Because adding all this texture and shit, it's fucking me up. So now we're getting out the old Ames guide, and I'm doing this wrong. See, boom, hitting the edge. There we go. I would never use that. I usually use my giant T-square. Yeah, see, I know I needed to get this done because I had PT this day that I was penciling this. I needed to get to PT in I had like an hour. No, I think I had like 2 hours. This video is like an hour and 40 minutes. So I had like 2 hours to get these 2 panels at least penciled before going to PT. So that's why I'm rushing. I usually normally have a giant T-square that I use for my Ames lettering guide. So I don't want people seeing this and being like, dude, you're an idiot. Why are you using that tiny manga T-square? It's like, promise you I do it the correct way. This bus is here, man. Loud as hell. Loud as hell. Yeah. So now we're just trying to figure out. So we got it. Boom. Trying to just figure out, alright, how am I going to make this a little bit more exciting? Another thing I'm not doing in Nosebleed is speed lines. I'm really trying to figure out ways to not do speed lines as like a because it's really easy to just blur things for when people are moving fast, and I feel like everybody's kind of doing it now. And not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just like, there's got to be another way. So I'm trying to think of, I keep trying to think of like other ways to show emotion and things in Nosebleed, rather than just doing like fast little zigzaggy lines. Like I want everything to look very intentional with Nosebleed right now. So I drew in like a bunch of like excitey kind of lines, but you'll see that I don't end up keeping any of them. Like none of them. I'm just like, it's not it. And there's nothing wrong with speed lines or anything like that. I'm just kind of like, I gotta figure out something cooler to do. Yeah, at this point I'm just trying to just bang these inks, bang them out. Start using the big boy brush here. That is the Fudenosuke fine line or fine point brush. Yeah, as you see, look at that. Like, just adding. I don't want there to be like. I kind of want to do a book where it's just my line art. 'Cause I feel like my line art right now. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I feel like I'm very confident in my line art, and I like the little like baby lines and things that I'm making. But I also like adding like a crap ton of black, because as you'll see, like the more ink that you add to your drawings, that I add to my drawings at least, like it adds a heaviness to them. And this is such a heavy story, you know what I mean? That I'm just like, yeah, it makes it heavy. I like all the sweat that I drew on them. Sweat, shirt. You gonna need the Reaper if you send for me. I forget all the lyrics that he says. It says something about jackknifing bitches in the sofa or something like that, which is hilarious. Yeah, we're just cruising here. We're cruising here on the inks. We got the Tombos out. Trying to get in there. Just cruising it out, man. But yeah. Like that looks spooky, you know? Especially with the white eyes. You spooky. Do I finish this? I definitely do. Yeah, we even ink the word balloon too. Let's go. Yeah, but as you can see also too, it's like this up close shot. I really tried to kind of make it more realistic, a little bit more realistic. I don't want to abandon my cartooniness. Like I'm aiming for that cartoony / realism with my comic style, I guess. Yeah, girl, getting them dreads in. Let's go. At this point, you know, I'm just like texture, and it doesn't look bad. I just kind of wish I could figure out a way to do dreadlock texture a little bit simpler. You know, like not so many like little, liney, big chunky lines like that. I don't hate it. but you know, things can always be better. So let's see. Is that it, bro? Are we done? I'm like pacing around in this video. Oh, okay. Wait, you guys want to see me letter? Oh shit. You guys are like, we've seen people write before. Who cares? This pen's really good for lettering. I got this felt tip, this like fillable felt tip cartridge for this pen that I've had for ages. I was gonna throw out. I'm really glad I didn't throw out because it has like the reloadable ink thing, so you can put your own ink into these. And I found this cool felt tip for them. So it's kind of basically like a Tombow. The only problem that sucks with this guy is that it's the line is really, really dead. Like kind of what you're seeing there is like what you get. Like there is no like, you'd have to be really, really good with your control to get like a really thin to thick line with that pen. Okay, I don't do the background in this panel, but yeah, not so bad, right? This was an hour and 40 minutes of my day, so working pretty fast. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was on that day, but I was zooming, man. Zooming. All right. So I think I needed a bathroom break or something. I think that's why I didn't finish inking this. All right. Tight. Okay, so let's go back here. Oh shit. Have I not moved this whole time? That's insane. But yeah, so that's the page for this week. Got it done. Wow, it's only 26 minutes. Oh, sick, yeah. Yeah, so that's it. I'll fly out tomorrow to go home. When I get home, I've already thumbnailed pretty much all of chapter 3, so I think I'm just going to keep it moving. Maybe stitch together those pages just to have. I'm still slowly uploading pages onto nosebleedthecomic.com, but yeah, if you've never read it, check it out. You can read it as a webcomic if you want to read it that way. That'd be cool. Sign up for I don't know. I don't have a Patreon. If you sign up for my Patreon, just know that it's basically a tip jar, because I don't really like Patreon, so yeah, it'd be just a tip jar. So anyway, yeah, that was it for week 4. Come back next week for week 5, when I maybe I'll record myself tightening up these thumbnails, because I think this week I'm really gonna try to focus on getting some tighter thumbnails, so I can just scan those in, blow them up, and then I'm gonna really try to push myself just to draw on top of my thumbnails. I've done it a bunch of times, but I'm really trying to just try that out this week. That's like this week's mission, so we'll see. You know what do I like to get done this week? I think I'd like to try to get, I don't know, somehow, look at that thinky face. That's a man thinking right there. Like 2 pages somehow done. Pages 11 and 12. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it. All right, y'all. See y'all next week. Peace.